Hello guys and welcome to this special episode of Movie Talk. Today I'm joined with Scott.
Hello.
And we've just came back from seeing X-Men Days of Future Past at the cinema. So today we're going to give you what we thought of it, like the best moments and some of the negatives as well, if there is any. Just say something about the film, Scott.
Well, to start off, I'd like to begin by saying the film was 10 out of 10 for me. It was really well done. I like everything about it. The only thing I don't like, if I had to pick one, would be the storyline. It doesn't really seem to make any sense to me, considering the fact that Charles Xavier is supposed to be dead and he isn't. So yeah, that's probably the only thing that's confusing me.
My rating of the film is probably 10 out of 10 as well, exactly. Because I thought the storyline was great, the characters were great, and the action scenes were pretty much amazing as well. And I like the new additions to the characters. Like Jennifer Lawrence was Mystique. I thought she did it better than the previous one. And Ellen Page, I believe, was Kitty. Was that her name?
I think so.
Kitty, I think that was her name, yeah. Anyway, Scott, you want to get on with your positives about the film and your best bits?
Probably one of my best bits about the film is probably towards the end. Now, for people who haven't watched this film, then I'd suggest you just click off the video right now, because these are going to be some spoilers. Now, towards the end of the film, there is a fight scene going on. Well, I wouldn't really call it a fight scene, but it's more of a massacre, and the X-Men are trying to defend themselves against the Sentinels, and they all get pretty much slaughtered. I mean, Storm gets tossed around like a rag doll, and Iceman, he just seems to get his head cut off at one point, which is not pleasant whatsoever, but looked pretty awesome. So yeah, that was probably one of my best bits, and while this is all going on, we have Magneto causing havoc in the past, and Wolverine and Charles Xavier's trying to stop it. Shane, your favourite bits?
There wasn't really any specific bits, but I pretty much like all the fight scenes. They were really well done, and I like the way they were presented. One thing I did like was how there was two fights going on at the same time in past and the future. So you had the fight in the past trying to prevent the future from failing, and then you had the future fight. As Scott said, they were all defending. I thought that was really good. And the two new additions, I think, is one of my negatives, is that the darker skinned guy, I think he looked like some sort of Jamaican. But he kept getting like powered up, and then all he did was shoot them. It didn't
really make any sense, did it?
It didn't really do much. It didn't do any damage. And the second one was that girl. She could like throw portals about, and I thought that was probably one of the things that was keeping them alive most of the time. Scott, would you want to get on some of your negative points?
The only thing, as I said, that I didn't really like is the fact that the storyline didn't really make any sense. I mean, like, the film, it's obviously really, really good and really played out well, but I just don't really see how that coexists with the previous film, X-Men Last Stand, because obviously we saw Charles Xavier, he was basically blown up by the Dark Phoenix. So yeah, that's probably my only negative point. As Shane said, that weird Jamaican looking guy or whatever, he just seems to power up and shoot a gun. I mean, I want to know what his powers actually are, not just firing guns everywhere.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just said that there wasn't really a specific scene, but one just came to mind. It wasn't actually a fight scene, but it was just laughing thinking about it. It was that the Quicksilver. When he was running around the room, he froze everything. It was just so awesome. You want to go into detail about that?
I've been hearing Quicksilver's going to be appearing in the next Avengers film. Now, after seeing him in action in the X-Men film, I'm really excited to see what he can do in the Avengers, because he just seems to be a really awesome character, and his personality is quite a cool, quite sort of gangster. I wouldn't say gangster, actually, that's going a bit
cheeky.
Too far.
He's got a cheeky personality.
Cheeky personality. So yeah, he seems to be quite a cool character. Anything else?
Oh yeah, actually there is. Well, this isn't. Wait, yeah. At the end, I like the addition they put in with when Wolverine wakes up from whatever happened. I can't really explain it, but he wakes up and Jean Grey and Scott are both alive. Ironic, because we have a Scott right next to me right now.
Yeah, I can fire beams with my eyes.
Yeah, I like how they added them two back in, which shows that Charles changed the way he raised them. And Scott actually noticed something that could be related to the Spider-Man universe. You want to go into detail about that?
Yeah, within the film, this is another spoiler, the main antagonist is a guy called Boulevard Trask. Now, you wouldn't really tell from his appearance because, you know, he's a midget or a dwarf or something. He's just a very small person in the film. But there is a game, I do believe it could be in cartoons and comics as well, but this is going from the game that I played back on the PlayStation 2 called Ultimate Spider-Man. We had Boulevard Trask, as he had the same sort of personality. He was a weapons manufacturer or inventor, some sort of person like that, and he wanted to control the Venom suit. Now, this could just be a coincidence, or it could be leading to something else, such as, because that guy isn't dead, he's just been arrested. He could like get out of prison, and I don't know, it could link in with the Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man universe, and we already know there's an upcoming Venom film, so we could tie in with that. Any thoughts on that?
Well, like I said, I haven't really said it before, but what I think is, I don't think they'll ever merge universes, to be honest, but because, you know, the companies own them differently, so they'll have to make a different person, but I see what you mean.
Well, it's just an idea, because we saw in at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they were actually advertising X-Men films, so it could mean something.
That's kind of weird, actually, yeah. One more point, if I can just think. Oh, Jesus, I've just totally forgotten. Just carry on a second, Ross, I think.
So, yeah, Shane's gone into a bit of a blank state of mind. So yeah, I would really recommend going to see this film if you haven't done so already. Sorry about ruining half of it if you're still with us and you haven't seen the film. But
sorry guys, I've just thought of something quite important. Some of you may or may have not seen, right at the very end of the credits. We didn't actually see it, but we met a friend on the way out of the cinema and he told us, and we looked it up online. There was actually a scene of... do you recognise who it could have been at all?
No, it from what I saw in the scene, it was some sort of...
It looked like a woman, but everyone was saying that Apocalypse. It's just really confusing.
It's like Magneto, only instead of metal can control sand, because we saw this person building pyramids.
Yeah, they were like floating pyramids flying around everywhere, and there was all these men, probably a slave army, just chanting some weird thing. So that's obviously to do with the fifth installment of X-Men, which is Apocalypse.
Yep.
We'll be definitely going to see that too. Anything else you want to add?
Nope, that's pretty much it. Overall, film was really good. Recommend you go and see it. And yeah, that's it for this video, I suppose.
Yep, my overall rating is 10 out of 10, as I said. Pretty much everything about it was spot on. Your overall rating?
10 out of 10, as I said at the beginning.
Yep, so that's it for this special episode of Movie Talk. There'll be a 4th episode coming out soon, which Scott will just tell you a little bit about now.
Yep, the 4th episode will be me giving you my thoughts on Transformers: Age of Extinction, which I am really excited for. I'm going to be going over my most anticipated scenes or expectations within the film. And with that, we'll see you in the next video.
Yep, thanks for watching guys. Leave a like if you agree, and tell us what your rating is of X-Men Days of Future Past. See you next time.